Oh, it's so nice to have you all here with us today. So much on my mind. You're going to hear a lot of, there's going to be time to celebrate, right? All the incredible things at JJC. I've got a story to tell to begin. I recall the last time we were together, the Herald News described the state of the college as, and I quote, upbeat. I think we can do better this time around. So here's what I'm aspiring to read in the Herald News tomorrow. Are you with me? JJC president, and I'm reading it like in this voice too, unapologetically sets an audaciously ambitious agenda. Yeah, so thank you. Oh, we're not done. Yeah, in a world. This one's also acceptable. Is JJC president threatens the status quo. With the full AI version of me, I won't finish that. I'm so energized to be here with all of you. You all remind me why I picked up my family and left all that sunshine behind. I'm so thankful to be here. I walked from the A building to the U building earlier, and it's not far, Mayor. It's not far. But by the time I got there, my right eye was frozen, so I couldn't close it, and I couldn't feel my ears. I am slowly becoming a Midwesterner. I'm checking multiple things off my Midwest bingo card. But we'll get there. I want to share a quick story that I shared with the college community when we brought everyone back from the holidays. I'll pick on my friend Michael here. Michael, so when you think about parents, you think about grandparents, are there messages, are there lessons that you think about today that inform your leadership? And if so, what are they? This is unplanned, so.
Yes, 100%. And I would say work ethic is top, right?
Love it.
So show up to work, do your best, and always speak your truth.
Love it, absolutely. So I want to introduce the college community to someone who was very important to me. Many of you most likely know parts of my story, and it's full of tragedy across generations. Most of you know that my parents lost their parents at a very early age, right? My mom lost her mom when she was 8. I lost her dad when she was 15, and she was alone in the world. And my dad's story is sadly quite similar. He lost his dad when he was 3, leaving my grandmother, who you see here, to raise a family of 6 kids on her own, on Social Security, right? This is the only grandparent I ever knew. But there were 2 versions of her. I'm thankful that I didn't know the version I heard stories about. Right, yeah. Stories of an angry woman, a fearful woman, a sad woman. She was born in 1912. And this picture was taken, let's just say, Dan, the 70s, okay? We won't get any more specific than that. But this picture was taken in the 70s. The stories I heard about this angry, sad, fearful woman were stories of an individual I did not recognize. Because the version of my grandmother that I got was an individual deeply committed to finding joy in her later years. Who intentionally, despite the tragedies that I'm about to list, losing 2 husbands And a child in their 20s, despite all of those tragedies, intentionally set forth after her kids moved out to find joy. And she found it through service. So as we advance through some of these slides representing many of the organizations that you all represent, and when I'm attempting to convince you that my interactions with you energize me, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of your connections, your friendship, and the different ways we make our community stronger. I mean it, because it was my grandmother who took me to volunteer at nursing homes. It was my grandmother who took me to help serve food to her friends at hospitals in an area of Hawaii that was, and still is, extremely impoverished. She gave me that great gift of service. And so I think about her often. And when I sign my name, I've insisted on using my middle initials, G and H. I suppose there'll be another story about the H part at some future speech. But the G stands for Gill. And that right there is Mary Gill Namuo. We're going to lighten up a little bit, and we're going to acknowledge all the elected officials in the room in just a second. It took me 3 years, Doug Pryor, 3 years, but I completed the Chicago Professional Sports Bingo card, and I could not be more proud. We've been to a Chicago Fire game. We've been to a Chicago Sky game. We've been to a Sox game, a Cubs game, a Bulls game, a Blackhawks game. Reagan's trying to, and a Bears game. So here's what we're going to do. So I feel like I've completed all of this. Elected officials, as I read those teams, if those teams are your favorite teams, will you please stand to be recognized and stay standing? I'm going to do the Bears last, just strategically. All right, elected officials with us today. Please stand if your favorite team is the Chicago White Sox. Okay. There you go, Trustee Morale. No, you have to stay standing. Yeah. Please stand if your favorite team is the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago, there you go, Kelly. Chicago, thank you, Trustee Broderick, there you go. Chicago Cubs. Okay, all right. Chicago Bears. Which one did I miss? Did I miss any? The Chicago Sky. So there you go, Dee, thank you. And if you're not a fan, elected officials, of any of the Chicago sports teams, please stand to be criticized in front of the entire room right now. How about a hand for our elected officials, everyone? JBT, you can take that one next time as a way to acknowledge all of the, you'll hear about all the different ways that JJC is incredible today, right? But JJC, what is a JJC education? JJC education is an experience. Our students run our world-class culinary arts restaurants. Our fine dining restaurants in downtown Joliet are run by our students. Our lunch restaurant in downtown Joliet, run by our students. Our automotive shop, run by our students. All instructor-led, but run by our students. As you drove in today, you drove through our 100-acre land lab, where our students plant and harvest corn and soybeans. Our students perform They create, they weld, they build networks, they heal, they save lives, and yes, they win national championships. They support this massive, massive, and thriving economy across our increasingly diverse 7-county region. Our students are exceptional, our faculty are extraordinary, and our staff are skilled, sophisticated, and service-oriented. And together, we ensure that the great gift that is a JJC experience will continue to strengthen our cities, our villages, our counties, our companies, and our communities for generations in the future. And I consider myself so lucky to be part of the JJC community, and I hope you do too. I'd like to ask the trustees of Community College District 525 to please stand and be recognized. How about a hand for the trustees? Trustees, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the incredible work you do, the volunteer work you do to advocate on behalf of our incredible institution. Thank you. Please remain standing throughout the duration of my presentation. You may be seated. That's my team. Is it? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look at them. They're like, what? Just going to go straight past the team. So I'm going to put this team against any single one of your teams, executive leaders. But I know. But hear me out on this one. Led by our incredible executive vice president, Dr. Yolanda Farmer, we've got a CFO with jokes,
Great jokes.
a chief human resources officer who tolerates those jokes, an Athena Award winner, a physician, a lawyer, and everyone I failed to mention has a doctorate degree. I present to you the collective powerhouse that is the best team I have ever worked with, and they are the executive leadership team at JJC. Please stand to be recognized. You like that? Like that? Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. All right. I was just going to go right past it. You know? We're so proud of the Crawford Honors College. I want to acknowledge members of the foundation board here with us today. Mayor Brown is the president of the JJC Foundation. Donna's here. I see a number of individuals connected to the foundation. If you're connected to the JJC Foundation, either staff or on the board, will you please stand to be recognized? You all have made this incredible thing possible. From Coal City to Dwight, from Lincoln Way West to Lockport, from Morris to Providence, from Lincoln Way Central, don't worry, there's no sound here, Lincoln Way Central to Plainfield East, from Joliet Central to Minooka, from Plainfield South to Plainfield Central, from Joliet West to Columbia, from Botswana to Germany, from Germany to Italy, I present to you the inaugural class of the Crawford Honors College at Joliet Junior College. You can clap now. It's okay. Okay. If any of you are thinking that you're going to come back to JJC and attempt to apply at the Crawford Honors College, we welcome that. But let me just tell you what you'll have to do to qualify. A 3.8 GPA in high school, Be in the, yes, in high school. Be in the top 10% of your class. Some leadership activities. Dr. Schiffbauer, you got that. A 1360 on your SAT. A 30 or a 30 on your ACT, right? That would place you in the top 6% nationally. So here's the message. JJC is not a place you end up. We've attracted some of the best and brightest students from across our 7-county region. Because guess what? Our students will be prominent people one day. Dual credit's a leading measure to college access and success. Nationally, the data is very clear. If you're interested in the Illinois level data, the Illinois Community College Board tracks every college-going metric, and every single one of them improves by double digits if a high school student earns credit from JJC while they're in high school. This game-changing initiative has resulted in thousands more students earning more credits and matriculating at higher rates to both universities and JJC. We skyrocketed to number 2 in the state in terms of students served, only behind the great state of the College of DuPage. This semester, instead of a third of students having some dual credit, nearly half of our students in fall of 2025 have earned some dual credit. And here are the numbers. In 21, prior to 12 by 12 by 12, we had about 4,500 students participating. In 2025, we're at 6,000 students annually. Think about that. 1,500 more students have access to dual credit. And you know who we have to blame for that besides this incredible leadership team at JJC? Will the superintendents please rise to be recognized? No, come on, come on. So it hasn't been easy. The mechanism, the systems, the apparatus, the infrastructure to support offering college credit at our high schools is not easy. It requires a lot of negotiating. It requires JJC adhering to all of the standards that we have become known for. But I just want to take a moment to thank the superintendents in the room for embracing the vision of 12 by 12 by 12. And here we are 3 years later. When you consider that we've grown 31% over the last 5 years, grown 34% over the last 5 years, and that we've gone from credit hours produced in District 525 from 24,000 over 33,000, we're changing lives. We're making college more accessible. So when we challenged all 40,000 high school students in our district to earn 12 college credits by the end of 12th grade and promised them that they would pay only $12 a credit, that's had a profound and enormous impact on all of us. Who are our students? And this is something where I think I might actually teach the cabinet something, but we'll see. We'll see. There's an interesting story embedded in the next 2 slides. And I'm wondering, as you look at these numbers, you'll be able to figure out and sort of solve that problem with me. our fall students are actually very different than our spring students. Very different. So let's take a look at how different they are. First of all, we serve 14,000 students at JJC. 14,000. About a couple of years ago, Escortina, year and a half ago, we proudly became a Hispanic serving institution. And over the last few years, and the data is pretty clear, we've had over 30% of our students identify as Hispanic. Over 30%. So as you look behind me, you notice one number is lower than 30%. Do you think it's because we have fewer Hispanic students? No. That unknown number historically has been 2 or 3. What we're finding is that some of the uncertainty, euphemism, attached to federal immigration enforcement has changed the way our students identify. So if you see on paper 23%, I'd argue strongly that that number remains 30% and remains climbing. In the fall, 88% of our students are less than 25. So we're going to dig into this. I've got 2 slides, fall and spring, okay? So the vast majority of our students we call traditional college students, right? 88%, 25 or younger. We've got nearly 80% part-time students, which is quite common nationwide. It's about 75% of community college students are part-time, meaning they require more supports to be successful, financial and otherwise. We get that at JJC. We understand that, and we've created those structures and those supports. But as I switch over, I want you to pay close attention to how the numbers shift. Take a look at the 88, focus on the 79%, and from fall to spring, just take a guess at how they might change. Right? So 75% of them are under 25. 68% of them are part-time. What does that tell you about our student body between fall and spring? Now, this is far more technical than I had intended on getting, and I won't dig deeper, but know this, that at JJC, these nuances are important to us. If traditional college-age students populate our fall semester and returning and adult students populate our spring semester, you better believe that we're committed to adjusting our resources and services we offer to support those 2 populations. Does that make sense? All right. Guesses as to transfer schools. Quarter of our students come here to transfer. Vast majority of them come to us and are full-time students. Quick guesses from the audience. Top 5. ISU? Says Senator Capel. UIC? U of I? Lewis? University of St. Francis. Top 5 in order. Go Redbirds. Just missed out on the national championship this year. Illinois State, number 1. Number 2, Lewis University. Number 3, UIC. Number 4, the University of St. Francis. And number 5, NIU. Last year, we celebrated a record number of graduates at JJC. The largest graduating class we have ever had. A point of pride. But let's dig into it a little bit, okay? Over on the left-hand side, you'll see we've got the number of associate's degrees awarded over the last 3 years. Great trend line, is it not? We're awarding more degrees, and let me tell you, our faculty have not lowered their standards. Record number of associate's degrees, 1,500. Over the last 3 years, a 17% degree increase and a 69% certificate increase. That massive economy that I referenced earlier, it's no wonder that when Intersect Illinois, now known as the Illinois Economic Development Council, Commission, Council, the C stands for one of those, invites JJC to be at the table when they're pitching companies interested in relocating to Will County. It's no wonder that the Grundy Economic Development Council wants JJC at the table when they pitch companies to come to GEDC. It's no wonder that the Will County Center for Economic Development wants JJC at the table, because that's what we do. Take a quick look at how our certificates have grown over the last 3 years. That represents JJC being responsive to the communities we serve. Oh, you're in for a treat right now. He couldn't be here today, but my dear friend John Anderson agreed to let us capture his story. This mosaic of images, including Kayla and Doug and Michael and others, this is proof that our students will be prominent people one day. They'll be nurses, they'll be teachers, they'll be professors, they'll be physicians, they'll be circuit court judges, they'll be appellate court justices, and they may very well be, shout out to Mary Kay O'Brien, they may very well be sitting on the Illinois Supreme Court. Our students will be prominent people one day, and this is the world premiere of Justice Anderson's story. I hope you enjoy it.
I lived in Joliet until I was about 5, and then my family moved to New Lenox, and I went to Lincoln High School. I was not a good student at all. I had to go to summer school every year, including the summer after I was supposed to graduate. And so that was a very awkward conversation that I had with my parents. I ended up graduating from Lincoln Way with a 1.0 GPA. My own experience with high school, maybe this isn't typical, but I felt that they wanted you to think a certain way, act a certain way, take the classes they wanted you to take, and you go to college and you're sort of encouraged to think for yourself and make your own rules, and some rules need to be remade. Not all, of course, but some. And you get to take the classes that interest you. It took me a while to figure it out. But the reason I went to JJC is that it offered me an opportunity that frankly no other college did. I was going to join the Navy. I didn't think I would be able to go to college. And I didn't know that community colleges had an open enrollment or open door enrollment policy. And so when I started looking into JJC, I decided that that was for me. This is where I took my first poli-sci classes. I was a poli-sci major at Illinois State, and I have a master's in poli-sci. So that is something that I've always been interested in. And JJC is where my interest in poli-sci first took root. I was a poor student. I was an angry, rudderless kid. And my uncle was murdered in an act of gun violence. And that really caused me to take stock in my life and turn things around. So I studied harder in school and ultimately graduated from JJC, went on to Illinois State University, and now I have a collection of degrees. John Marshall was not unlike JJC in that they were, they're enrollment policy or their admissions policy was a little bit more liberal, they would give the scrappy kids like me a chance. And I think that the smart and scrappy kids often do much better than the kids with pedigree out of the gate. And when I graduated from law school, I was blessed to be offered a clerkship with a judge on the Illinois Supreme Court, helping that judge and other members of the Illinois Supreme Court shape their opinions. And I really just got the bug to become a judge at that point. Well, I ran for circuit judge in Will County in 2010, and I won by 336 votes out of 35,000. So if anyone thinks that their vote doesn't count, please know it does count. And when most people have an experience in court, it's typically with the circuit court. So if you have a traffic ticket, you're getting a divorce, you got into a car accident, you got hurt at work, you've been charged with a crime, maybe you want to just change your name or you want to adopt a child, you go to circuit court for that. If you don't like the result that you got, you can file an appeal. And there are 2 levels of appeals courts in Illinois. At the very top of that pyramid, you have the Illinois Supreme Court, but they only take a handful of cases every year. So in the middle, you have the appellate court, which is the court that I sit on. Nothing is getting cheaper these days, and lawyers certainly are not getting any cheaper. So I think it's important that we make the court system a little more user-friendly for folks who are representing themselves. Some of them got more than what they asked for, some got less, and some got exactly what they needed. But it was always a good day because we felt like we were helping people. And I do enjoy talking to kids in high school, for example, who maybe are on the verge of dropping out or not graduating. And I want them to know that there's opportunities out there for them to go to college, opportunities like JJC. And I know that college isn't for everyone, so I urge them to at least get their GED degree. And I want them to know that this is a really long race, and they're on the first lap. You don't need to win on the first lap. You just got to stay in the race.
Amazing story from John. So if any of you get a chance and interact with him, guess what? You're classmates with John. That's right, at Notre Dame. Ask him to see his transcript, because the first thing he did when we had breakfast together is he showed me the transcript from Lincoln Way to prove to me that he did indeed graduate with a 1.0. But what do we do for our students? How do we support them? What are some of the ways? Well, let's start with financial. I'm thankful that over the last 3 years, we've been able to keep our tuition flat. Before you erupt in applause, that will not always be the case. But thankfully, over the last 3 years, we've been able to do that. As a result, we're in the lowest quartile or highest quartile, depending on how you see it, of most affordable community colleges in the state of Illinois. In fact, if you extract fees and look at just tuition, we have the second lowest of all 39 community college districts in the entire state. For those of you who are paying college or university tuition for your kids or grandkids, can we all marvel that it costs $4,530 to go to JJC full-time? That's 30 credits, Micah. 30 credits a year. And that's not the only way. We provide considerable and substantial support through the JJC Foundation, which awards 1.6, has already awarded $1.6 million in scholarships. 1 out of every 3 of our students accesses some form of financial aid, whether it be federal, state, or otherwise. Yesterday we had a handful of very special guests. Over the last few months or so, Senator Capel, Leader Avalar, and Representative Manley, and for those of you, your village halls, if you're participating in this, and most of you in this room are, or your libraries are participating, if there's a box asking for donations, food and essential items, and you've placed an item into one of those dozens of boxes, then you have the trio of Senator Capel, Leader Avilar, and Representative Manley. Yesterday, they showed up with minivans full of items and delivered all of those items. So this picture was actually just taken yesterday, to the Wolves Essential Pantry. Can we just get a big round of applause for them and their staff? Since it's opened in the fall, we've been able to, through our licensed professional counselors, offer over 1,700 professional counseling hours to our students, honoring their full and complete identity, honoring who they are as human beings, ensuring that they're always their best selves, and when they're not, ensuring that we're able to provide them the resources necessary to be not only the best students, the best human beings. Now, the inventory of our Wolves Essential Pantry fluctuates. It goes up and down according to the needs of our students. So I encourage you, if you're able to do so, and perhaps as a follow-up to today's event, we'll present to you ways to support the Wolves Essential Pantry. And this effort that you see here is ongoing. So at any of the village halls, at any of the libraries, please donate, because all of those items come directly to our food pantry and our clothing closet. I want to thank Governor Pritzker for being there to help us cut the ribbon to celebrate this incredible event, and for the seed money Representative Avilar allocated those years ago. And to all of our electeds in the room, we take great pride in honoring your confidence in us. And if ever we fail to honor your confidence, please see Dr. Farmer. All right. So perhaps some of you have heard about this. And I'm going to get a little technical here. We absolutely want to begin offering bachelor's degrees at Joliet Junior College. 5 years ago, I was part of a group of presidents who lobbied our elected officials, our legislators in Phoenix, Arizona, at the height of the summer, to advocate that community colleges be given the authority to offer bachelor's degrees. All those many years later, thousands of students have earned bachelor's degrees at the Maricopa Community Colleges. Bachelor's in applied areas. And that is something we aspire to do here at Joliet Junior College. I don't know if you got the sense or not, but we're a little obsessed with optimizing and maximizing our impact on the communities we serve. And this presents a tremendous opportunity, one that JJC is poised to meet. And here's the technical part of it all. Last year, the governor included this topic in his budget address. And since then, we have negotiated the language of a bill with the help of our Springfield electeds. My hope is that this legislation moves forward because JJC is ready to meet the demands of the workforce where gaps exist. Let's go back in time a little bit. How many of you were connected to the college in 2008? Let's go back. Okay. Some of you are not very proud of that for some reason, but you're like halfway raising your hand. Let's think about what it looked like. The college is engaging in its second master facilities plan. We're nearing completion of that. But the college did this in 2008, once before. And it transformed this institution. After the master facilities planning process, 200 million projects emerged. I'm sure 400 million emerged, but the administration and the board at the time probably cut it down to about 201 million, which, by the way, in today's dollars is 268 million. So the administration and the board at the time grappled with how to pay for all of this stuff. Great projects, big dreams. The college did it in 3 phases. Alternate revenue bonds in 2008, a referendum supported by the voters in 2009, another round of alternate revenue bonds in 2013. What did that get us? The automotive complex expanded, allowing us to serve and double the capacity of our automotive program. The A building and campus center, a $42 million project that centralized all student support services, now houses our library, the Crawford Honors College, and all administration-related services. $42 million project. Our science expansion was a $45 million expansion that provided our students with modern, state-of-the-art learning facilities. And the building we're sitting in, the U building, our health professions complex that houses the best, the largest nursing program at a community college in the state of Illinois. Now, city colleges might claim that, but they combine multiple and call it one. We're the largest. Medical assisting, EMT paramedicine, rad tech, respiratory therapy, and on and on and on. 125,000 square foot complex that in 2013 was a $45 million project. But wait, there's more. City Center in 2017, $15 million. The Event Center, our state-of-the-art athletics complex, a $28 million project. And our Romeoville expansion, finishing up in 2017, a $14 million project. Revolutionizing this institution and providing our students with what they deserve, modern facilities. We're undergoing that process again. And here's what I want to commit to all of you as citizens of Joliet Junior College District 525, that we will carefully prioritize and carefully consider all options related to how to make all these big dreams a reality over the next 10 years. Speaking of big dreams, we're close to finalizing the acquisition of 20 acres, 1 mile north of State Route 47 in Grundy County in Morris, Illinois, 1 mile north of I-80. But why? Like, why Grundy County? Job growth in Grundy County is twice the national average. Population growth in Grundy County is 4th out of 101 counties in the state of Illinois. But why Grundy County? If you've ever been to Costco and you've had a hot dog, a $1.50 hot dog soda combination, that hot dog came from Morris, Illinois. That's at the top of our list of why we're expanding. CN's making a $170 million investment that some of you are very familiar with. Dresden, Clean Energy Station, Braidwood, Clean Energy Station, and Three Rivers CPV collectively create enough energy to power the entire state of Illinois. 4.4 million homes could be powered by what's generated by those 3 facilities. And just to put that into perspective, There are 250,000 homes in Will County. Costco's increased presence, GE's increased presence, Procter & Gamble's state-of-the-art distribution center in Morris. Not to mention Morris Hospital employing 1,600 people, Constellation 900, Deconstruction, Costco and Procter & Gamble. JJC will do more in Grundy County, and we look forward to what that more looks like. I want to take a moment to thank the Grundy County Expansion Committee, listed here, for the support you've given us. And as our interest turns internal, we're going to determine exactly what a new campus in Morris will look like. So some timelines. They're ideal. There is an asterisk here for those in the back. It reads, the timeline is aspirational and may change, but we aspire to occupy the new campus in August of 2028. I made some changes to the budget slides last night. I added the word exciting to the revenue slide, and then I added the word thrilling to the next one. So bear with me, we're almost there. Just to give you all a sense of the financial elements of Joliet Junior College, our operating budget is $122 million. The vast majority of that comes from the taxpayers of Joliet Junior College District 525. 26% of that revenue comes from tuition and fees, and 9% comes from state allocations. Since I've been here, I've seen that 9% rise over the last few years, but we're entering different times. The state budget will be a little more constrained this year, as I'm sure many of you know, and that could impact the choices we make here at JJC. These are the thrilling expenditures I promised earlier. We're a people-driven enterprise, like many of your organizations. The vast majority of our expenses are in our people, our incredible people. Now, I want to dispel a rumor that's been going around on social media. Wiley will not be doing the finale of this State of the College today. Wiley will not make an appearance today. I'm sorry to disappoint all of you, but Wiley will not be here. And also, we do not plan to reveal elements of our new logo today, okay? Wow, wow. Over the last year, we've engaged a brand and perception study to ask ourselves who we are. And actually, two questions. Who are we as an institution, and who do we aspire to be? And as a result, this is what we discovered, and let me know if this resonates with any of you, that we're a neighbor, that we're a trusted partner. We're inviting, accepting of all. All right? I believe that. But who do we aspire to be? And this is where the creator archetype should resonate, hopefully, with those internal and connected with the college in some way. But as you look at these brands, right, and as you consider how Ace Hardware connects to the neighbor archetype, I want you to consider how Apple connects to the creator archetype. Maybe Harley Davidson connects to the outlaw archetype. Maybe Nike, how they connect to the hero archetype. We started it all. This phenomenon that has become the modern comprehensive American community college started right here in Joliet, Illinois. And what we have not done is simply embraced our history. We have taken every opportunity to innovate, and we will continue to do that. We will continue to create. about a hand for Wiley, everybody? What? Wiley's here? No way. We didn't rehearse this at all. Okay, Wiley, so I see you have some top secret dossier in front of you right now. I will read it in front of the people, but I'm going to make the decision as to whether we reveal that or not. Wow, okay. All right, give me 1 second here. Okay, so just real quick, Wiley. Okay, let me close this up. We're not ready for this yet. We're not ready to reveal a new logo. Wow. We're not ready. What time? When will we do that? Is that what you're asking? You want me to click forward? Okay. All right. I'm comfortable revealing that. How about a hand for Wiley, everybody? Hand for Wiley. Thank you, Wiley. All right, everybody, say it with me now. Say it with me. We're going to learn a new word to finish up today. First of all, back to the Chicago sports thing. Didn't you all dream of being introduced like the Chicago Bulls, And now, no, some of you, just me? Okay, but then I went to that was a thing. Then I went to a Blackhawks game. And I'm like, I wish whenever I did something great, the Blackhawks goal sound would blare in my ears. Da 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 da. Okay. But before that, let's learn a new word. Say it with me. Happy. Well, I guess you have to practice it first because it's difficult. I see some of your it's spinning right now. Happy quascentennial. Thank you for coming, everybody.